Hey guys, how's it going? Ghosty Rich here today, and today we're working on a Jeep TJ. So, first thing what we're going to be doing today is taking out the headlights so we can put some new LED ones in. So first thing you want to do is take a look at that silver nice bezel right there. If you take a look, there's going to be a T15 Torx right there, one right there, and one right there. 3 in total. Take those out. Once you do, you'll just slide that cover out. You'll see that it's open just like that. After you do that, you're going to see some more T15s. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So pull up those 4, and then we should be able to slide out the whole headlight assembly. As you can see right here, you're going to have usually on these new LED headlights, you'll have 2 wires. Don't use the green one unless you have an amber halo. If you don't have an amber halo, then you're all good. And what you can do is you'll see a red wire, I believe it is. The other color, yes, a red wire. Extend that red wire so it's like this, like so. And that, if you'd like to have a halo.
Light test. Okay, low beam, high beam. Perfect. It's gonna give you a lot more light than those. It's so dim, it's hard to see on the camera, but I mean, those are so much more dim, it's brutal. So I'm gonna put in this next one and then I'll show you how to wire the halos. Low beams, and now give us high beams. Perfect, nice and bright. So that's the difference.
So this Big Daddy-O coming to you live again, doing another small video for Ghostly Rich. If you like what you see at the end of this, just hit like and subscribe. But for now, let me explain what we did. Ghostly Rich had fun with his brother's Jeep, and he, as you can see, put in a couple of LED lights that have halo rings. Well, he stuffed the LED lights in and they work wonderful. The DRLs work off the main headlights but don't function on the halos. So I spent a bit of the day and I thought, oh, let's see if we can get the halos running. And I tried a few different things. One of the things that I did with the halos to get them running is I went over to the firewall cabin here. This is where the DRL is, sitting right there, and this is the DRL cable coming up. And I thought if I could tap off of the main DRL cable that fires up the headlights, cut it so that they don't turn on the main headlights, and tap the halos into it, then everything should be fine. And that sort of did work, except that with DRLs, they're actually only running at half power. So your halos only run at half power. The other thing that I discovered, as soon as you cut that cable, when you go to your high beam, you lose your high beam indicating light on your dashboard. That's right, if you cut that cable, you lose your high beam indicator light on your dashboard. So I kind of went through the wiring diagram, and I thought that the first wire that I cut was red-gray, because that's what it said to tap, but nope, that's actually red-green. So I had to go find the red-gray wire, which is still tucked, I tucked it in here, I cut it, and I actually tapped it to the power side, the power feed for the DRL, right here. You'll notice I have this fuse piece in here, and at the moment there is no fuse in here. That's right, because I'm not going to put one in. I'm leaving the DRL actually disconnected. So the power feed DRL to the main headlights is actually disconnected. And what I've done is, this is a power feed, and I tapped the white-red, or the red-white line, and I soldered it to the cable. Okay, that's a red-white one. I soldered it to the cable, and I soldered this fuse pack in just in case he ever wants to change back to his regular DRL headlights.
So just to go over this a little bit more, because it could have been a little bit confusing. When you cut that red-gray wire, what you're going to do is tape up the bottom half of it, the one that's not coming out of the firewall. The half that's coming out of the firewall and the red-white portion that's coming out of the firewall, you're going to solder those two together, and like he did, he put the fuse cartridge. Again, you don't have to put that fuse cartridge in. If you want to, you could tape up that red-white and tape up the other half of the red-gray, put them down, and then just solder the red gray and the red white, twist them together, solder or crimp them, whatever you want to do, and that'll get your high beam indicator. Or you could put in that fuse thing like he did, and what it'll do is the fuse cartridge holder is there for if you want to slip a fuse in to get power to that DRL. Keep in mind, one thing you forgot to say was you would have to reattach the red gray to the red gray again. Otherwise that little speed sensor that's in there that registers if it goes anywhere, it's like a movement box sensor, it won't kick in. So something to keep in mind, but just make sure you do that red gray and red white together, and you're just attaching the two ends that are coming out of the firewall, and twist, solder, or crimp, whatever you want to do. Okay.
As you come around, there I put this cabling here. There's a red cable connected to this, and I run this red cable through here. And on this side, there's also a red cable, as you can see. And this is a red cable for your halos. And I connected them here in the center. And you can see I bring the blue wire, I cut a little knobby in here, and I run my wire along. And I tapped in this one. This is actually the start fuse. Now that thing is not live until you actually start the Jeep, until it's running. Once the Jeep runs, then that becomes live. And so your halos, in effect, will become like your DRL. Nobody will know the difference because as soon as you start the Jeep, the halos come live. Okay? So this is where I tapped it, and what I did with that is I bought this wonderful little device from Lorco, and you know, or you can get it from any other place. And basically it's called a fuse tap. Alright, careful, there are fuse taps out there that are like really expensive. Like I went today and picked one up and it was like $42. I was like, what? So I picked this one up, and this one was like $10. It allows you to plug in two fuses. So I put a 7.5 in for my halos and the 10 that was in there before for the circuit. Okay?
Just to go over a quick thing at this portion of the video, that T-tap that we're using, you're just going to solder that line, that blue wire that he's running goes right to the halos. So I already had a line there, and the portion of the video didn't come out in editing, so just wanted to throw this in here so you know that that little T-tap goes right to that red wire that's sticking out of both your halos. You just have to connect both the halos together, so you put a joiner wire from one red halo wire to the next halo wire, and then have one wire that goes from both the ones that are conjoining those two that goes right to that T-tap. Okay?
It's off, and he's gonna start it up in a few seconds here, and you'll see that they blink on, lights come on. So you can see the halos look pretty. Low beam, the halos turn right off. Yeah. High beam, halos are still off. And everything lights up the way it should. Goes back to low beam, and then takes it off, and there you go. Halos come back on. Wiring it that way works wonderful. And when you turn the Jeep off, the halos go off. And even if you put it in accessory mode, they stay off. And there you go. A nice little wonderful way to hook up those kind of halos on these particular LED lights. So if you like what you've seen here on Ghostly Rich's page, just hit like and subscribe. This is Big Daddy O with another video, and I hope you have a good summer's day. Talk to you later. Bye.